Hey, what's going on, guys? Eric Pate here, back with another video, and I want to talk about something, and I feel like we should talk about it. A lot of people know how big of a NASCAR fan I am. Well, some people are asking me, what do I think about the incident that took place during last Sunday's South Point 400, where Bubba Wallace overreacted after being ran up the racetrack by Kyle Larson and spun Larson out, and then went over and proceeded to punch the living shit out of Larson. He didn't really punch him, he more or less shoved him. And then he shoved an official when they were trying to get Bubba away. So everyone's asking me what are my thoughts about it, and I was tired of answering the same question, so I'm just going to go and share my thoughts about it. Okay. And people have also asked me if I like Bubba Wallace. I do, but he can work on his attitude. He needs to work on his attitude. That's the only reason that I don't like Bubba. I just said I like him, but the only reason why I might not like him is because his attitude freaking sucks. His attitude sucks. So let's go ahead and discuss the incident that took place. I think I heard it was. I've seen the video too. I was listening to it. I was listening to it when it happened live on Motor Racing Network when I was at work. Because my boss, he says as long as we are paying attention, we can listen to music and whatnot at work. And I usually listen to races on Sunday at work. Anyway, so I was listening to the race, and I heard that Larson ran Bubba up the track, and then so this is what I thought happened. I thought Larson hit Bubba, and then when I actually went and watched the video, it turned out that did not happen at all. So here's what actually happened. So Larson and Bubba Wallace, they were battling for I don't remember what position they were battling for. And Kevin Harvick got in the way. Harvick basically, I believe, was going a lap down, so he basically just let him by. So anyway, but as they were coming out of turn 4, Larson went up the track a little, and Bubba was on his outside, and Bubba hit the wall. And there was probably what it looked like there was probably a centimeter between the 5 and the 45. I'm gonna say 23 because Bubba did start the season driving off driving the 23, but now he's driving the 45. Bubba actually won in the 45 when I went to the Kansas race. Anyway, so then after that, Bubba intentionally spun Kyle Larson, ended up wrecking Larson's car, wrecking his car, and then Christopher Bell got involved. And then Bubba's car came to a rest a little bit past start finish line, way up the racetrack in the top lane. Bell, I believe, made it. Bell, unfortunately, was on the damaged vehicle policy, which is in the playoffs. It is 10 minutes of repair. The clock did expire, so Bell was out of the race, but it was pretty obvious both Larson and Bubba was out of the race because there was no way they were going to fix both of their cars. So they both got out. Well, Bubba walked across an active racetrack to Kyle Larson, and then second he got to Larson, he when he was close to Larson, he ran up to Larson, then started shoving Larson. And Larson was... I'm surprised that Larson didn't, like, shove him back or anything. Which I'm very surprised that he did not do that. If I was Kyle Larson, I would have shoved Bubba back. Because I am not going to tolerate somebody just coming up to me, somebody who just wrecked me, come up to me and shove me, trying to blame me for the situation. Because, whoopie-skippy-doo, you got ran up the track, you hit the wall. The same fucking thing happened the day before where a driver got ran up the racetrack and he hit the wall. That same driver went to, in the Xfinity race, that same driver went to victory lane in the Xfinity race. That same driver went to victory lane in the Xfinity race. The driver who got ran up the racetrack and hit the wall, he went to victory lane. He didn't cut his wheel and spun out AJ Allmendinger, which I believe it was AJ Allmendinger. He just continued driving his race and ended up going to victory lane. Basically, say, fuck you, Allmendinger. You're going to do that to me? I just win the race. But, and then the NASCAR officials doing what they are trained to do, get in the way of confrontations. And then Bubba's shoving an official. On Tuesday afternoon, NASCAR announced Bubba Wallace will be serving a one-race suspension, which will be served in tomorrow's Dixie Vodka 400, which he will serve. So, first of all, I don't know where to start. Bubba, if you're watching this, you basically got a slap on the wrist. This is basically a slap on the fucking wrist. I'm not joking. This was basically just a slap on the wrist. The other day, I was scrolling through YouTube and I found a video of Kyle Petty saying his thoughts on NASCAR's decision to suspend Bubba Wallace for the Homestead race. He said that everything that Wallace did should have gotten a one race suspension each. Each of the four major things that Wallace did in that whole of the thing, each race, each thing he did, he should have gotten a one race suspension. On top of that, I think he said that he should have also gotten sensitivity training. His boss, Denny Hamlin, I think it was earlier this year. Yeah, or was it last year? I don't remember. Posted a meme from the TV show Family Guy. I don't know how to exactly describe the clip. But it was like an Asian person driving a car because Kyle Larson does have the Japanese American in him. Kyle Larson wasn't clear of some cars, and he cut down in the middle of a racetrack and caused a giant 20-car pileup at Talladega. Denny Hamlin was involved. It was like the first car involved. So he shared a clip of an Asian woman doing that in the show Family Guy. And Larson basically laughed his ass off. Larson laughed about it. I laughed about it. Everybody laughed about it. NASCAR, on the other hand, said, oh, by the way, Hamlin, if you want to keep racing, you got to do sensitivity training. That was a freaking joke. Like, what is wrong with people? Like, can we not take jokes these days anymore? Can we not? Can we just tell jokes now these days? Because I feel like we can't. Another thing. Why didn't Bubba get sensitivity training for what he fucking did? He shoved Larson. Oh, here's another thing. The car they're in this year is not safe. 2 drivers had to sit out because of concussions. I should have said that earlier. So he knew before the race that this car has safety problems. And both drivers who had concussions, both suffered them in lazy spins. I don't know what to say. People are saying that some stuff I'm reading, and what I'm going to tell you are mainly from Wallace fans. Where's the penalty for Cole Custer for what he did at Charlotte Roval? Where's the penalty for Ben Rhodes? Where's the penalty for this guy? Where's the penalty for that guy? Cole Custer was helping his teammate. Sure, yeah, he shouldn't have intentionally slowed down his car. Sorry. And the other ones weren't even as bad. Like, guys, I do agree with Kyle Petty. I do think Bubba Wallace should have at least gotten a 4-race suspension. Because, okay, this has been a constant problem too this year with the new car. His tires are falling off. Like, these guys are not making sure the single lug nut, which is, do I have something for reference? I do not. About the size of what I made of the circle my hand is. Maybe two times bigger than that, but I would say about the size of the shape my hand is. It's the lug nut. They're just not making sure it's secured, which I completely understand because you're trying to do a pit stop in like 15 seconds. It's hard. And three guys have to suffer, from the pit crew has to suffer a 4-race suspension. And it's not even, most times not even causing a problem for other cars. So, I don't know. I bet some people agree with me saying, hey, yeah, Bubba Wallace should be suspended longer than just this week. Denny Hamlin, who is Bubba Wallace's boss, has came out and said so normally NASCAR will if there's a penalty, NASCAR will give each team we'll talk to the team owner and say, hey, you have the option to appeal. Denny Hamlin on Tuesday, almost immediately after the penalty was announced, Denny Hamlin almost immediately said, Bubba knows better than this. I agree with the penalty. And then he said he was surprised that NASCAR didn't give him a bigger penalty than just setting out for the one race. And I do think Bubba Wallace should sit out more than one race. So anyway, let me know what you think about the incident. Like, subscribe, comment, favorite, be nice, cool, be awesome, Mary Pete on the 8. See you later.